ballistic missile, also known as an ICBM, is being launched.
Hey, Shalom, Call Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rahudash, the ones apostles of great millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord, when we are found in that number to be delivered. Alright? So I believe I'm going to entitle this All Ye That Bend the Bow. Alright? Because this is the perfect time to be speaking about the thermonuclear destruction and the thermonuclear missiles that are going to hit this place known as America, aka Babylon the Great. Alright? And it's going to be hit by all these other nations that are going to come up against this place. Alright? So let's start off with Jeremiah 50 and 14. It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round the bow. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord." Alright? And this is exactly what the Lord has prescribed from these kings to this place known as Babylon. Alright? They're going to be gearing up and putting themselves in battle array to what? Launch these thermonuclear missiles over here to destroy it. Alright? And it's going to happen in your lifetime, man. It's going to happen very soon. You know, people are so they're resting assured that they don't have to worry about these things because they believe that it's not going to happen in their lifetime. Well, these nations are gearing up, man. You know, and now Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, you know, and a few other kings of the earth are now talking about there could possibly be a third world war. All right, with nuclear destruction. So this is the time that we're living in right now. This is what we're talking about. This is what's on the agenda. Nuclear missiles to be shot. All right. Now on the left side here, you're watching a clip of how, you know, the nuclear missiles operate. You know what trajectory they're going to be taking, where they're going to be shot, how they're going to be shot, to what location they're going to be shot, how long it's going to take for them to get to a certain location. All right. These are all the things that we now have to start paying attention to. Now, as we're going to the book of Obadiah, and I'm going to jump down to the 6th verse, and it says, "How were the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" All right. Now, we've come to learn and come to know that Esau Edom is the so-called white man in the world today. Now, in times past, you may have had a little confusion on who the Edomites were, and you know, and the Lord didn't really reveal it to the masses, you know, until, you know, more of a recent time period. And now we can identify and put the label on the men who are most wicked, man, in the world. Verse 7, it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border." Right. Now, let's jump down to, what am I thinking here? Let's go from there. Let me jump down to the word Confederacy. All right. The word Confederacy means a league or alliance, especially of Confederate states. All right. So basically, it's a league or an alliance. Now, the scripture just said this, Obadiah 1 and 7. "All the men of thy confederacy, all the men of thy league or thy alliance, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." All right. So that's just going to show you, going back over to Jeremiah 50, reading back down, it says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow." All right. So anybody that has that nuclear capability and has the ability to shoot them nuclear missiles, the Lord is going to send them against you, man. And this is why we just read in Obadiah, all the men of thy confederacy. And the confederacy means what? To be in league with, to be in alliance with. So all these nations that are going hand in hand with Esau and looking out for Esau and this, that, and the third, they're going to turn against you, man. They're going to destroy you. So be very mindful of who you're around in these last days, man. You know, if you're outside of this thing of ours and you rubbing shoulders with Esau and you trying to, be like Esau or trying to match his financial status, going out spending every last dime that you have to try to make it look like you right there in the forefront with Esau. All right. So all the men of thy confederacy has brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. So it's just a matter of time before these nations start really identifying who Esau truly is, man. And the Lord is going to assist them by putting a certain spirit on them to truly identify who the wicked is, who ought to be destroyed. Okay? Now from there, I went ahead and went and looked up who are Americans' allies. All right? And it's just a quick read. It says, other key U.S. allies such as Germany, Japan, and South Korea. All right? These nations are also in league with Esau. Okay? They're also in confederate with Esau right now. So as the scripture said, they're going to lay a wound under thee. They're going to prevail against thee. You see? In other countries such as Taiwan, Israel, India, and a few others, they're all going to come up against you and destroy you ultimately. So they're not going to be looking for a payout from you. They're going to want it in blood, man, and they're going to get it because the Lord's going to see to it that they have that nuclear missile. They're going to launch it on you. Okay? All ye that bend the bow. And now, once again, now is the time to really start understanding the dynamics of how these things and these nations are working and gearing themselves up and preparing themselves, man. These nations are really starting to prepare themselves for that great notable day that the Lord is going to send against you. All right? Just another quick read. It says, this is Union of Concerned Scientists. Now, we make mention of how Esau knows what's going on with these scriptures. He put his best men, his best scientists on it. All right? And they've come to many conclusions. And the conclusions that they've come to, they're not too excited over. Okay? One of the conclusions is that the so-called Negroes and so-called Puerto Ricans who make up the northern and southern kingdom are the head tribes of the children of Israel. Okay? And who they consist of, so-called Negroes, West Indian, Puerto Ricans, and all the Latin tribes. All the Latin people, I should say, make up the 12 tribes of Israel. They put their top scholars on this thing. They know who we are. They know that the Lord is coming back. They know that there's going to be a destruction of the land known as America. They know these things, man. Why do you think they're preparing themselves to try to flee out of the midst of Babylon? Because they know that them thermonuclear missiles that they have sitting in them silos are going to be used. And they're going to hit ground zero, aka America, to destroy it from off the land. Okay? But once again, these scientists you see here, they're the very same crafty council from Psalms the 83rd chapter. They're all back again. They're all here. They know what's going on. They know who you are. You know, I did the show the other day, and it was in reference to, you know, them rounding up the so-called Negroes and you Latin tribes, man. When you look into the documents of Project Megiddo and the King Alfred plan, when you look into them documents, it mentions so-called Puerto Ricans. It mentions the so-called Negroes. It mentions you. Okay? But you, like I said in that video, you motherfuckers gonna find out. You're gonna find out you are the Israelites. And it's not gonna come with a sweet, a sweet sound to it. Right? It's gonna be bitter. It's gonna be very bitter. To walk around talking about I ain't no Israelite, and not me. I ain't with that. You're gonna find out. You're gonna ask yourself, why is this happening to us? Why are they doing this to us? Because you're the Israelites. That's why. That's why. All right. It says, nuclear weapons worldwide. Nuclear weapons are still here, and they're still an exponential risk. It says 9 countries possess nuclear weapons: the United States, Russia, France, China, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea. In total, the global nuclear stockpile is close to 13,000 weapons. While that number is lower than it was during the Cold War, when there were roughly 60,000 weapons worldwide, it does not alter the fundamental threat to humanity these weapons represent. All right? So once again, they say 13,000. Me personally, I believe that's a very, very low number, man. That's a very low number. And of course, Esau's not going to tell you the truth of what they have stockpiled. During the time of the Cold War, there was over 60,000 of them. All right? But once again, it doesn't matter because they're all going to get launched. However many there are, they're going to get launched. Okay? It says, for example, the warheads on just one U.S. nuclear-armed submarine have 7 times the destructive power of all the bombs dropped during World War II, including the 2 atomic bombs dropped on Japan. You see that? So you can only imagine, when them thermonuclear missiles hit ground zero, as you see the picture off to the left there, you can only imagine the devastation that one nuclear missile is gonna do to this place, man. Total devastation. And these kings of the earth, they're going to see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off, as it says. Because don't forget, man. When you read the book of Isaiah, it tells you the earth is going to reel to and fro. A lot of these people are going to feel that, man. A lot of these people are going to remain on the earth in different regions of the earth. They're going to feel the earth reel to and fro. Okay? We being taken off the planet, Lord willing, we being taken off the planet, we're not going to feel that. We're going to see it, as the scripture says in Psalms the 91st chapter. Only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You see? So the Lord has an absolute pure destruction for this place, man. And for one nuclear warhead to have such devastating destructive power, You know, it out, it outdoes every bomb that was dropped during World War II, and including the atomic bombs. All right. It says, moreover, nearly all the major nuclear powers, including the United States, Russia, and China, are now significantly increasing their nuclear arsenal in size, capability, or both. This growing news arms race is raising the risk of nuclear war. All right, so it's coming, man. They're testing, they're playing war games, they're strategically setting up certain satellites, certain regions of the world. They're bickering and arguing over certain airspace. This is it, man. This is it. You know, the United States has far too long, tried to dictate how every other military in the world should operate and what they should do. Well, your time has come, as it is written. It says, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Okay? Jumping down to Jeremiah 50 and verse 29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. Camp against it round about. Let none therefore escape. Recompense her according to her work, and according to all that she has done. Do unto her, for she has been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. All right? So you are out of here. There's going to be no mercy to be given unto Babylon, man. No mercy to be given unto Esau, Edom. None. All right? So with that, I'm going to end it right there. Time is short. We in the time of prophesying. The spirit is in the time of the turn up. And may the Lord continue to give us little signs on each passing day, man. Sometimes when you're in you're just in a low spirit, man. It's just the smallest little things that the prophecy say that the Lord does that boost your spirit up, tenfold, man. Because we understand we're at the end of this thing and it's almost time. All right? So with that, I'll see you brothers in another show. I say shalom.